What's up, everybody? Another little bit of an afternoon walk and talk with my lady friend Karma here. And what's the big hype this week? What's the big fear train? What's new on the agenda? The coronavirus. Bum, bum, bum. Is this finally the superbug that takes out all of Western civilization? Will we all succumb to this super virus? Bum, bum, bah! No, we won't. I really don't know what to say about this. I haven't covered it a bunch because it just reminds me that every so often we get a bird flu, we get a swine flu, a pig flu, or we get a SARS. Remember SARS, the SARS virus, how scary that was? Ooh, it's SARS. One of my favorite classic South Parks is that SARS episode. We got a couple dogs on the other side, so who knows how this is going down, but easy, Carm. Easy. But the SARS one was basically that, it was a flu. That's it. And look, weak immune systems are gonna be taken out. And here's the thing. Big Pharma, stop it, Karma. Big Pharma has, all the opportunity in the world to make a bunch of money on a vaccine for this thing that probably doesn't even work in the first place, right? And you notice that when I talk about SARS or the bird flu or the swine flu, they never, ever cause the mass destruction that was suggested. You know what I mean? And I remember when I was over at Infowars and we were talking about the swine flu and FEMA regions and quarantines, and none of it came to fruition. None of it. So, they're hyping this up big time. They're saying 17 people have been killed so far. They say that we already have cases here in the United States, but I wouldn't sweat it too much, guys. This is not the Stephen King Booker miniseries, The Stand, where some kind of a government-built super virus escapes and begins to take out society. Sorry. You're hearing 4,000 dead in China. Robin Papago, that is not correct. 4,000 dead in China, that sounds like a lot of disinformation to me. Total fearmonger, 4,000 dead in China. Listen, the SARS epidemic, after all the hype and all the Johnny nonsense, killed 775 people officially. Let's say they lowballed that. That's still absolutely nothing. I would suggest what you want to do is keep up with a good diet, some exercise, and eat your vitamins, And I think that your immune system's going to be able to handle the coronavirus. I had a couple delicious Coronas last night. One with my chicken wings, my din din, and I couldn't help but think, if they named this virus after that, just for the notability, okay? Just for the name recognition, the brand, sound of advice, Jason, thank you. The brand recognition of this. And what's funny to me? Today, there's a consortium of atomic physicists and scientists that have something called the Doomsday Clock. Now, I'm going to do a full video on the Doomsday Clock in relation to the movie The Watchmen, which it's heavily featured in, and then the series The Watchmen, which is an offshoot of, not really the film, although the film is so close to the comic book that it is kind of almost an offshoot of the film in that dark sense of the way it's shot and the fact that they actually got 9 Inch Nails to do the soundtrack. I liked both, obviously. But the Doomsday Clock is basically however many hours, minutes, or seconds to midnight we are to complete and total annihilation. Now, since I think 2018, our Doomsday Clock, which is a real thing, it's a figurative thing, but it's real, was at 120 seconds to midnight. 2 minutes to midnight! Dun, 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 more fear-mongering. And now it's at 100 seconds to midnight. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. Look, guys, you have to understand we live in a world where if one superpower were to attack another with nuclear weapons, if this wasn't some kind of rogue false flag attack where you had a dirty bomb or a mini nuke go off in a city or in a building or something like that, you're almost assured mutual destruction, right? So that's a great way to avoid it altogether. By the way, 91 watching, 35 thumbs up. Let's get those thumbs up for the walk and talk with my lady baby Karma. In the snow, in the cold, we do it with my Unabomber outfit on. It's actually not even that bad out. I think it's like just over 30 degrees here. So you have that aspect of it. You have the fear-mongering aspect. You have the mutual destruction aspect of it. And let's be honest, if we had some kind of a virus that was so lethal that it was taking out large swaths of populations across the world, what would it really be? What would it really be? It would be a bioweapon. It would be something that was cooked up in a lab. And I know there are some people out there that are already calling this coronavirus a lab creation, saying it's already been patented. But let's go beyond this virus and let's start talking about nanobots that are not the future, but they're already here. We already have biological material in conjunction with what? Non-biological material that we create in a nanoparticular form being used today. And when we start putting nanobots in our systems and that becomes the new medicine, I warn everybody, that is a command control device. That is a track trace database device on a level you can't imagine. And if you think that the powers that be would be benevolent with that technology, want you to have the technology that's going to empower humanity and not enslave them, maybe you haven't been paying attention to history too much. Maybe you think USA, 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 Elon Musk, transhumanism. But I don't. I see beyond that facade. You know, again, you look at my video on Trump tweeting at McGregor, and it's like, what kind of a world do we live in when, you know, the president of the United States is now openly promoting a violent rapist who he may have helped get into the country through his backdoor dealings with Dana White and the fight business. You got to understand, it's one of those things. And again, I voted for Trump. But if you didn't realize that Donald Trump was a gangster from the beginning, if you didn't realize that Atlantic City and casinos don't get built without organized crime figures that are literally mafia, well, I'm sorry. You're very naive. You would be naive to think that mixed martial arts and the fight game isn't still very controlled by gangsters. It's just a different level of gangster now. Now the level of gangster is Ari Emanuel and the crew at WME Entertainment. Now the true gangsters are Disney and ESPN, you know, an organization, you look at Disney, that has covered up the rape of children, actors, and actresses at the highest level for decades. For decades. Let me tell you something. Those Mickey Mouse ears, they come at a price. And they've literally bought up just about every media entity you can imagine, from Star Wars to Marvel. And with their Hulu app, remember, they're subleasing programs from other networks. So forget about, you know, Disney's only part of the problem. No, they are not only the largest corporate leviathan for entertainment right now, right? But they have influence over all of their supposed competitors, whether that be Fox or CBS, which is Viacom. They all need each other at this point. It's almost like one amalgamated hyper media entity there to serve the system of the predator class. Oh, so with that being said, don't be too worried about that coronavirus. Don't be running out and getting any vaccines. Don't buy into the fear mongering. I think the majority of us are going to be here tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, and they'll keep hyping this up for as long as they can. But at most, I would think something like this has a 2-3 month news cycle, and it'll be, hyped up for a good week or two, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Thumbs this video up, subscribe and share. Remember, I have a Rockfin, right, Karma? The Rockfin? 5 exclusive videos a week over at Rockfin for premium members. So make sure to go to rockfin.com/Jason Burmis and endorse me there. And that's one way to support me. The other way to support me, other than sharing this information, thumbing these videos up, subscribing to the Burmis Brigade, is of course my GoFundMe that has a link in the description below. That's how I make a living. That's how I do 3 to 7 videos a day for free on my platform on the regular. And that's how I continue to march forward in a very, very dishonest, disheartening, and in many ways, repugnant world. There's a lot of great things in this world, but talk about the upside down, man. We talk about a lot of those issues here. So be on the lookout today for a video on the Doomsday Clock, on the Watchmen, and on the OPCW leaks and people speaking before the United Nations. All right, I'll be talking to you guys soon. Love you. See you on the flip.